Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're doing a deep dive based on that summary you sent over, Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit. Really interesting stuff in there.
Absolutely.
Our plan is to unpack it, figure out, the core ideas about why we do the things we do, those automatic routines.
And crucially, how understanding them gives you the power to change them.
Exactly. That control part is key.
It really is, because habits, they often feel like these unstoppable forces, right? But if you see the mechanics, you can start tinkering.
Okay, so let's get into those mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Duhigg's big idea is this loop, a three-part thing.
That's right. He calls it the habit loop. Super simple, actually, when you break it down.
Okay, what are the parts?
First, you've got the cue. Think of it as the trigger, the little signal that tells your brain, okay, time for this habit.
Like seeing the cookie jar or feeling bored.
Precisely. Then comes the routine. That's the actual behavior, the thing you do. Grabbing the cookie, scrolling your phone, whatever it is. And finally, there's the reward. This is the payoff. What your brain gets out of it. Pleasure, distraction, energy. Something it likes.
And that reward makes you want to do it again next time the cue pops up.
Exactly. It reinforces the whole loop. And this is important. Over time, this whole cue routine reward thing becomes almost completely automatic.
Like you stop even thinking about it.
Pretty much. It gets wired in, your conscious brain kind of checks out, and the habit just runs on autopilot whenever the cue appears. Super efficient for the brain, actually.
Efficient, yeah, but tricky if it's a habit you want to break. If it's automatic, how do you even start?
Well, that's the really practical insight from Duhigg. You don't have to, fight the whole loop head on. That's tough.
So what do?
You keep the bookends, keep the same cue, and make sure you get a similar reward. But you consciously swap out the middle part, the routine.
Ah, okay. Like the example in the summary, the afternoon cookie habit.
Exactly that one. Let's say the cue is 3 p.m., feeling that slump, maybe a bit bored.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And the reward you're seeking isn't really the cookie itself. It's the burst of energy or the break, the distraction.
Right.
So the strategy is same cue, 3 p.m. slump, aim for the same reward, energy break, but change the routine. Instead of cookie.
I'll maybe go for a quick walk.
Or grab an apple.
Perfect. Or chat with someone for 5 minutes. You're hijacking the existing system, basically. Respond to the cue, get the reward differently.
That feels much more manageable than just stopping cold turkey. Now, the summary also mentions something called keystone habits. What's the deal with those?
Right, keystone habits. These are kind of special. They're habits where changing just that one thing tends to set off a positive chain reaction elsewhere in your life.
Like a domino effect.
Sort of, yeah. Think of the keystone in an arch that holds everything together, change it, and other things shift too.
And the big example given was exercise, wasn't it?
That's the classic one. People start exercising regularly. Maybe the main goal is just fitness, but then often without even planning it, they start eating better.
Huh. Yeah, and maybe they sleep better, they feel less stressed, they're more productive. That one change sparks improvements across the board. It's powerful stuff.
Wow. It shows how interconnected things are. The summary also briefly touched on companies using this.
Oh, yeah. The Febreze example is fascinating.
Tell me about that again.
Well, initially, Febreze wasn't selling well just as an odor eliminator. People didn't really have a habit of spraying stuff just to kill smells randomly.
Okay.
What P&G figured out was that people did have cleaning routines. And after cleaning, they wanted a signal of completion, a feeling of freshness as a reward.
Ah, so they repositioned it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They started marketing Febreze not just as get rid of bad smells, but as the final step in cleaning. The little spritz at the end became the reward for the whole cleaning routine. It smelled nice, signaled job done.
They slotted it into an existing habit loop. Clever.
Very clever. They gave people the reward they were craving, tied to a routine they already did.
Okay, so if we boil this all down from the summary, the main message feels pretty hopeful, actually.
Totally. It's basically saying, look, these habits, they run deep, but they aren't destiny. Just understanding this simple cue routine reward structure gives you awareness.
And awareness is the first step to change.
It really is. Knowing the loop lets you see where you can intervene, and changing just that routine, even a small change, can have these surprisingly big results down the line.
It puts the power back in your hands, doesn't it? You're not just stuck on autopilot.
Definitely not. Which, leads to a good question for you listening. Think about one habit you have. Just one. Can you pinpoint the cue? What really kicks it off? And what's the actual routine you follow? And then dig a little deeper. What's the real reward your brain is chasing? Is it the thing itself or the feeling it gives you?
That's a great exercise.
And once you've identified those three parts, just think, what might happen if you experimented with changing only the routine? Keep the cue, aim for the reward, but try a different path, something to mull over.